Hello! It's my birthday! Whoa, that's playing noises. Hi! It's my birthday today. That's exciting, isn't it? MSK 1984, thank you very much for the birthday wishes there. How are we doing today, guys? I am rocking the 25th anniversary Sonic hoodie, as you can see. I think it was a 25th anniversary one. I've had it a while anyway. Hey there, Gallagher. How are we doing? All happy to be here? All good? I'm feeling great. Today is day 2 of Sonic Month. And more than that, obviously, as I've already said, it is my birthday. I'm 35 today. And 30 years ago, when I was a wee teeny tiny little, take the hood off so I'm not sweating quite so much, a wee teeny tiny little 5-year-old LT, on my 5th birthday, I received a Sega Game Gear and the Game Gear version of Sonic the Hedgehog. So it was the first video game I ever owned. Suffice to say, it's kind of sent me down a bit of a path in life. You know, I've made loads of friends as a result of it. I've been a lifelong fan of the series. So yeah, 30 years. Can you believe it? 30 years of me and this mad blue thing behind me. It's pretty wonderful. It just feels nice, you know. So yeah, I've got the old birthday cards here. I don't know if you can see them. They're hiding behind Sonic there. So yeah, today we're going to play that very same game, the 30th anniversary of me playing it for the first time. It's the second Sonic video game. It's the 8-bit version of Sonic 1. And I'll be playing the Game Gear version because, well, it's the anniversary, isn't it? It's important, it's special. And also, we're going to be taking a quickie little look at the first Sonic novel. That's your bedtime story for the evening. A couple of you said that I was really relaxing last night. I got some nice feedback over that, so hey, might be a recurring feature. So, I think it's about time we jump into the old game. What do you guys reckon? All ready to rock and roll? I'm ready. I was born ready. Right, let's set the screen up here, and where are we? Yes, good, great. And video game, there we go. So that is, of course, what we're playing here today. Desperately in need of a bedtime story tonight, let's go. Well, what a tale awaits. Should obviously point out, this is a full-length novel. This isn't like some, you know, this isn't just a book for little kids. Well, I mean, it's a book for kids, it's Sonic, but it's not, you know, it's not aimed at super young readers, so like I said, it's a full-length novel. We're just going to do a couple of chapters tonight, but we'll see how it goes. So let's hop in on the old Game Gear here, and see how far we can get. This is exciting. Hey, Only Striker fan. Good to see you. Starts in Green Hill Zone, as with its 16-bit bigger brother. Oh, look at this! Obviously, the Game Gear sound is quite different to the Mega Drive. So if the volume levels aren't quite what they were yesterday, don't hesitate to let me know and I'll try and fix them. Didn't actually have time to test this one, I will admit. Big Hill. Yes! Completely off screen, love it. little bit loud. Okay, let's see. We'll turn that down. It's a little bit shrill, the sound effects. How's that? Is that any better? Oh no. Secret hidden wall. Extra life. Now, obviously, as you can tell, there are a few things that are different in the 8-bit version. As you just saw there, we smashed a monitor with a down arrow on it. That's the checkpoint, so there aren't any star posts or checkpoint markers in this game. You have to break the monitor. Also, the Chaos Emeralds aren't in the special stages. You find them out and about in the levels. And here's the first one. I'm going to be honest, I can't remember where they all are. So we're probably not going to get all of them tonight, but that's okay. Once again, we are going casual. You'll have probably noticed as well the end of level marker works differently in this one. And I believe that is the case in all of the 8-bit Sonic games. It starts with a question mark rather than Robotnik's face, and instead of you spinning it around to reveal Sonic's face, it spins around and there's different things that are on there. So Robotnik gets you nothing, an exclamation mark will take you to the special stage. There's a couple others. I think a Sonic face gets you a continue. But yeah, it's something a little different. Oh, and you can fling over the top of it, as we just saw. And that's a special stage. Can't wait for the day when you cover Fang the Sniper in depth. I think you mean Knack the Weasel, please. I'm a Knack purist. Happy birthday, LT. Thank you, Top Super Kicker. So kind of you. So special stages then, you're probably wondering, well, what's the point in them if the emeralds aren't there? And the answer is to get rings and thus extra lives and continues. This is where you find a unique special item monitor, which is a monitor with a continue in it, which will hopefully, I can't quite reach that, I think. We'll hopefully be able to grab in a moment. Here it is. Nearly flew miles away from it. There we go. So picked up a continue, grabbed an extra life, as you heard. And there's another end of level marker there. But of course you can't. There's no like recurring loop of going into the special stage. That will always be a Robotnik when you get to the end. Now, in each level, it is worth pointing out, there's a hidden extra life box. If you get all of them, then there's one extra life box at the end of the game, which is kind of a neat little surprise. I've already missed one, obviously, so we won't be doing that. Act 3 in this game is... oh no, hang on. Oh, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk this. I think there's something down here. Oh, there sure is. There we go, that's where the extra life is. Over to the right, there's nothing but spikes. You can't get anywhere but death over there. Act 3 in this game, there are no rings in any of the Act 3s, so it's one-touch kill from all the bosses in the game. And here he is, look. You can just hit him in this because of the small screen resolution. I'm going to show his attack though. So very slowly goes down the side of the screen and then... Whoa! mean, if that catches you off guard, it's going to take you out. But that is the first boss and the first zone done. There we go. So, in a lot of ways, it's quite different to the 16-bit version. It is a totally different game. None of the level layouts are the same. But it's still recognisably Sonic. This is one of the best 8-bit Sonic games, in fact. And of course, Bridge Zone is the second level, and that's not in the Mega Drive version. So we are going to get a few new levels, which is great. You know, better than just sort of reusing all the ones that we were already familiar with. All the Badniks are ones from the Mega Drive game. There aren't any original ones. But of course, back then, we didn't know there would be different Badniks. And that's something we're going to see in the next 8-bit Sonic game, which actually predates the 16-bit Sonic 2. Again, we see a lot of the same Badniks. There are some new ones in that, though. Love a bit of Bridge Zone. Love this tune. It's good stuff. One of the only problems with playing on the Game Gear is you get slowdown, even on this emulated version. Sorry, even on this completely legitimate version. Look, do you know, there's no point in pretending, is there? It's a Game Gear, of course it is. Of course this isn't a real Game Gear. I do have a Game Gear, obviously. I wouldn't dream of throwing away my first console and my first game, but no way of hooking it up to the computer that I'm aware of, so gotta emulate. Sorry, Sega. I hope you're not too mad. Extra life. We're racking them up, and we're going to need them come the back end of the game, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've only ever finished this game once. That's the second Chaos Emerald. So chances are I'm going to be doing a lot of dying as we get towards the back end of the game. Hopefully not too much now. Now the special stage. Now there's a limited number of special stages in this game. They kind of loop after you've been through all of them. So just get the rings, get an extra life, get a continue, and move on, I guess. Also, I quite like this tune. It's really funky. It's very possible, by the way, to get completely stuck between those bumpers in a horrible loop. So you do have to be a little bit careful. That's the continue. We'll have that. That's going to be the end of that. I still got my shield. That's quite cute. Doing pretty good so far, I think. Don't know what you reckon. Right. Okay, we've got an auto-scroller level now. Or as I called it when I was little, a moving screen level. Still got the shield! That's interesting. I've never really noticed that before, I guess. Carry it between the acts of the zone. Take one extra one, why not? Okay, we're going to wait for that to come on screen a little bit first. Because the last thing you want is for the bridge to crumble away when the rest of it isn't on screen and you just fall off to your death. Not a good time. Whoa! Oh, he's gone. Love this tune. Oh yes, look at that. Beautiful. I don't always make that jump, to be honest. Sometimes forced onto the lower path. Boink. Look how that's just floating on the water. That's such a neat little touch. Oh my goodness. I mean, you know, this is all relatively sedate, of course, but when you're a kid, this is tricky. I lost so many hours to this game when I was little. Loved it so much. I remember vividly walking into Woolworths in Worksop and seeing the box for the Game Gear with Sonic 1 in it and just going, little 4-year-old me going, I want that. Just this picture of Sonic on the box. That's the strength of the character design. Didn't know who he was, didn't know what he was, didn't know what a Game Gear was, knew I wanted it. Four-year-old me was clever. The life counter in the corner there is going to... Oh my goodness me. You see what I mean about getting stuck with the bumpers there? The life counter is going to stay on 9, regardless of how many we pick up now. But it will keep track of any more that we get. Oh no. Oh no. This is tricky. This is harder than it looks, by the way. Gotta really get the timing right. Oh no. That was not getting the timing right, I can tell you. Oh god. Oh goodness. Whoa. Oh my god. Calm down, lunatic. Oh no. If I can just get that monitor, I'll be alright. Oh, that'll do. Look at that trick shot there. Nightmare sequence. Really surprisingly easy to get stuck between bumpers. Obviously you're on a short time limit anyway, so it's not like you've got to turn the game off. Here he is. I forgot to leave it on screen before actually, but Robotnik's movements on the map kind of give you a clue as to what he's going to do. That's a very well hidden extra life there. Give you a clue as to what his attack button is. So for Green Hill on the map he moves side to side, and then on Bridge he comes up from underneath. It's clever. It's a neat little Easter egg, I guess you could call it. Okay. So this one works quite differently to how it does on the Master System version. Here you just kind of roll in place. On the Master System one you do have to actually jump into Robotnik. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I assume they couldn't fit the Master System one on screen because of the different screen resolution. There we go! And now we move on to another new stage, not in the Mega Drive version. The Jungle Zone. I've still got the shield. I'm carrying it between zones. That's fantastic. They wouldn't do that now. You'd be lucky to carry it out of one act. So lots of traversal on vines in this one. that lovely fruit in the background there. Waterfall here, loads of slowdown on screen, my goodness. I think I remember where the emerald is on this zone, I'm not 100% though. I am going to go reasonably carefully, because I remember this giving me headaches as a kid. There's some fairly tricky platforming on this level. A little bit of log running here. Oh no! Thankfully that wasn't instant death. Oh, that's instant death though, whoops. Jungle crabs. We love jungle crabs. Oh yeah, you do have to keep breaking the TV every time. The monitor, I should say. Otherwise it will not save where you are. You've got to do the level from the beginning, so just got to bear that one in mind. Alright, we're going to go a little cautiously this time. That's the old chopper Vadnik here. Oh wow, that was close, nearly got hit by that one instead. You see what I mean about this one being a bit of an obstacle course? Oh no. I always thought that these platforms look like bars of soap. The active imagination of a child there. Probably shouldn't have done that. Really don't want to be losing this many lives so early into the game. It's not a good idea. Do I have to roll together? Oh, okay, there we go. Hang back a little bit, that's the answer. We want to avoid that spring so we don't get shot into the water again. You do kind of want to slow Sonic down when you're jumping off the logs, because otherwise his momentum carries forward, like so. Oh, 10 rings, that'll do. Staying hydrated again. Okay, so now we've got a bit of a vertical climb on our hands. I'm fairly sure I've missed the emerald on this zone, but never mind. Oop. I believe this is... oh, flipping heck. Oh yeah, that's one of the other differences. If you lose your rings, you just lose all of them in one go, and you can't pick any of them up. I believe this version is more forgiving than the Master System one. I think that one locks the screen in place when you move upwards. Oops. So if you fall off the bottom of the screen on the Game Gear version, you can just make your way back up again. On the Master System, you would lose a life. Oh no! If I keep playing like that, I'm going to lose a life as well. What is up with me tonight? Carefully, carefully, carefully. Oh, there we go. Feel a bit more safe now I've got the shield. Wasn't feeling confident about tackling that crab meat Badnik, honestly. Yeah, this life here, you can grab that on the Master System from the side. You can't on the Game Gear. You've got to go from the top. Different properties for the item, I guess. However, I'm not sure I want to risk it, to tell you the truth. Oh, look at that, trick shot. Oh, well. So much slowdown. That's something I don't miss in games these days. I'm never sat there going, gosh, I wish games ran really slowly when there was too many flickering objects on screen. I think it was on a lower platform near a waterfall, had to lower yourself onto a log to grab it. Yes, Everlasting Stampede, you are absolutely right. I definitely remember having to do a bit of log running to grab that emerald. But not to worry. There's no Supersonic in this game, of course. Supersonic, what's that? Haven't got that far on the timeline yet. Oh, another 2 rings would have had that special stage, never mind. Okay, now, this next boss is really tricky. As Robotnik descends from above. This is one of those bosses where you can actually die after you've defeated it, if you're not careful and you're not lucky. I do have the shield though. Hopefully I'm going to be able to hang on to that. Because I suspect I'm probably going to take a hit or 2. Well, I can't take 2 because that's I'd lose a life. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh gosh, 6, 7. Mamma mia! 8. Damn! You see what I mean? This was where my game came to an end many a time when I was little. This is not easy at all. 1, 2, 3. Because the angle that you bounce back, ooh, it's so easy to just get accidentally hurled into the bomb ball. Dodge it, yes! That was needlessly stressful. The Rain, 5136, hello! Always wanted a Game Gear when young, never ended up with any of the portable systems. Game Gear was an interesting old system. Maybe position the camera there, seems like I've not got much on that side of it. Game Gear was weird because it's so bulky you couldn't possibly fit it in your pocket. Oh look, we're in the upper half of the map now. Speaking of needlessly stressful, here's the Labyrinth Zone. You couldn't possibly put it in your pocket. I mean, the original Game Boy you couldn't either because that was massive. But the Game Gear was like twice the size of that. It used 6 AA batteries. 6. And I tell you what, it guzzled them. It had the colour screen and the original Game Boy did not. That's why it ate batteries so much. The technology probably wasn't really there for them to be able to put the colour screen in. But at the same time I appreciate the effort, you know? And the Game Gear did a lot better in Europe than it did in America, as I understand it. As with a lot of Sega consoles, in fairness. You know, America was a Nintendo market, but the rest of the world, we loved Sega. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm about to drown. Oh, there we go. You'll note, by the way, Labyrinth Zone, of course, is in the Mega Drive version, but this is a new piece of music for it. You'll also note the drowning music is not in this game. I don't think it's in any of the 8-bit Sonics. I could be wrong. I feel like that should have killed me, but it didn't, and I'm happy for it. So we have a little beeping countdown timer instead, which beeps more rapidly as time goes down, and is honestly no less terrifying. And when things like that happen and knock you back a mile, it's not a good time. Oof. Oh. Whew. Too close for comfort, that. Whoa. Oop. Do you know, I don't know if I can say for certain. Looking back, weren't most crappy lit with bad battery life. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I don't. Oh, what is going on here? I don't have much experience with the Game Boy before the Game Boy Color, and to be honest with you, I thought that did pretty alright for battery life. Game Boy Advance kind of ate batteries a little bit, but obviously with the Game Boy Advance SP, you had the backlight, so that solved the bad lighting issues. And that had a charger, so love the Game Boy Advance SP, amazing piece of kit. You know, plays every Game Boy game from original black and white, colour, Advance. God bless the Game Boy Advance SP. But yeah, the Game Gear, not a friend of batteries, it must be said. Everlasting Stampede, fuck this version, remember the boss on this stage was an asshole. Yes, not looking forward to that one bit. Oh my god, nearly launched myself at those spikes like a complete dweeb. I don't honestly know if I could say whether this version or the Mega Drive version of Labyrinth Zone is the one that I am most nervous about playing. I'm playing this right now, I feel like I'm feeling the slowdown in Sonic's physics much more noticeably than on the Mega Drive version. We'll have that bubble, thank you very much. Which doesn't help with the tension. I'll take that. Please give me a bubble. Please. Please. Also, the bubbles are much more of a pain in this version like that. Oh, come on, that did not hit me. I'm about to drown. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, please, 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 please. Yes! The knockback when you get hit is astonishing. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I'll have that. Oh, come on now. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, please. Yes! Stress that you can do without in a Sonic game. Oh, hello! Just sitting there in the open? That seems like it'd be really easy to miss. No speed charge till Sonic 2. Oh, the spin dash. No, can't do that in this one. No, that'd make underwater traversal much easier. Alright, Labyrinth Zone boss. Now, mercifully, you can't drown in this stage because it's entirely underwater. So, none of that. I believe there's an extra life over here. Ooh. Gonna do some tricky platforming to get it though. Chances are I am going to lose that on the way back. Like so. The extra lives do not respawn, by the way, so I'll... respawn, that's not the right term for it, is it? They don't reappear anyway, so I'm not going to make that journey again. Because I would just lose a life for no reason. Right, this is tricky. One. Shouldn't have gone for a second one, that was on me. Tried to bounce, forgot how long he stayed down there. The answer is, not long enough. So when he's at the bottom, it's going to be one and run. Excuse the fuck out of you. I feel pretty confident that that did not hit me. Evidently it did, though. You ever get that with a game where you're like, that didn't hit me? Of course it did. Of course it fucking did. Alright, so I'm thinking bottom of the screen, don't hit him. There's got to be a way to do it. It's obviously costing me though. One, two. Here comes a torpedo. Yep. No, you're fine. You take your time. You just take your time, buddy. Not risking it. I'm going to play this one nice and safe, nice and steady. 3, 4, 5. See, ultimately, of course, even if I do beat him, I'm still going to get over that gap and not fall to my death. So anything could happen. 6, 7, 8! Oh, we've got a bot in the chat. We don't now. No bots in my channel. Yes, there we go. We're safe. Honestly, that was probably overall less stressful than the Mega Drive version. But I am glad it's over and done with. Scrap Brain Zone. Also in the Mega Drive version, but once again, new music. Oh. Had to readjust to his physics there. Got used to the underwater physics. Right, there are so many different ways that this zone can kill you. So you really do have to be cautious. Oh, close. Whoa. That was nearly my face. Whoa. I'm not gonna go too fast without being curled up. Oh, there we go, that's the end of Act 1. No special stage. Don't want to risk it. Don't want to play riskily, you know? 1 second, just messing about with Twitch. There we go, that's working properly again now. Right, the emerald is somewhere on this stage, but I don't think we're going to find it. It's in one very particular path, and if I don't go the right way, you can basically just miss the path it's on entirely. And I can't remember what the path is, so apologies guys. Obviously we're not getting the good ending anyway, because I missed the Jungle Zone Emerald, so it's okay. What's through the door? Through the door is death. I think the emerald's on one of these. I'm gonna drop down a pit to find it, I think. I could be wrong. Not sure I want to risk it. Oh. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, hello. Teleporter room. There it is! Marvellous. Well, now I feel really silly for not getting the Jungle Zone one. Because that was the one that I thought I'd miss. Oh, do I... Wait, no. I'm really confused. Something doesn't seem right here. Do I go back through the door? I guess I do. Alright. Whoa! Oh, nice. This is a fairly lengthy sequence, isn't it? Another teleporter. That's Act 2. I had no rings at the end there. That was dangerously unsafe play. Okay. I have a feeling... Oh, we've got rings in Act 3, because... Ah, right, yeah, of course, this one works a little differently. You'll see what I mean when we get to the boss. So the game is going to give me rings this time round, so that's fine. Whoa! gonna fire? No, guess not. Okay. This one's more of a traditional level than the others. You can overshoot though and go back too far, and we don't want to be doing that. Okay, well that's not the answer. Ooh, left or right? Let's go left. Interesting. There we go. Chase sequence. So yeah, there's no actual boss fight in this level. So now we follow Robotnik up into the clouds. I like how the platform comes back down, there's no one on it. Just ominous. Sky Base. Final zone of the game. Still, so very many ways in which you can die. So you really do have to be careful here. Oh no. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. Oh god! Ah, damn it. Or you could just be an idiot and not jump in time. Well, oh no. Oh gosh. Ah, damn it. I'm in bomb. Oh no. Ah. This is, oh my god, this is really testing the old platforming abilities here, I gotta say. This level wants me to suffer. There we go. Everything about this zone hurts, you are right. Happy birthday, thank you very much, Hyla. I spent the morning watching the Dr. Slump movies. How are they? Very funny and very silly, I hope. It's funny you should say that, actually. I watched we got a blimp. Watched the episode of Dragon Ball Super where Goku's losing control of his energy abilities and he teleports to Penguin Village and briefly meets Aurelie again for the first time since original Dragon Ball. Oh, Sonic, nothing about this seems safe. That's a gun turret. Oh my good gosh. Bloody hell. Oh my god. I need you to know that wasn't my fault. It was totally my fault. Damn it! I knew that was there and I did it again. So I'm guessing there aren't any... Oh my good god. I'm guessing there aren't any rings on this level because we don't have a ring count, we only have the timer. So the game's going to make me struggle and suffer. With a camera that's not especially cooperating, I hasten to add. Sonic is definitely not central on the screen. Right, this time we're not going to get blown up. We're not. It's just not going to happen. Fucking hell. Do you ever want to watch someone suffer, like being bad at video games? Welcome to the channel. Hey Emerald Chaos, how's it going? Also, hey Darby, how's it going? Mocking me again. No, 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 no. Ah! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Please don't put anything dangerous, it's gonna kill me. Ah, ah. Okay, I'm gonna go down. Ah! Ah! Holy Michael. I disagree with that, Darby. You can't be mean to me, it's my birthday. You're gonna be nice. Mother of God! Fuck! But all of Ranma half nice. The fact they don't have a ring count for stage is a big fuck you from the get-go. Yeah, it's kind of like saying, hey, listen, this is gonna suck for you. This is gonna be a bad time for you. And they would be right. That'll have gone away now. Go all the way to the right, no problem. Friggin' hell, oh my god!
Thank you for following the channel, buddy.
Oh, we got a follow-up. Ryan J. Kirk, 92, thanks for the follow! Yes, continue, obviously. What kind of question is that? Game's gonna be mean enough, doesn't need chat's help. Yeah, probably. Now, hang on a second. Hang on just a cotton-picking moment. In my head, I've got it that there's something down there, but I don't think I want to risk it. I suddenly want to risk it. Okay. Yeah, we're safe stating. Okay, I can't reach that, clearly. If I... No, that just kills you too. Damn, okay. Wait a second. Wait a second, it's not down this way, is it? Oh, lads and ladies. Right, I seem to remember struggling enough on this path, but definitely thinking certain death awaits if I go the other way, so... shit! Okay. It's like just blurring as he stands there. That was a ridiculous jump. Game's got me tense at the minute, gotta be honest with you here, guys. As you can probably see from the pained expression on my face. Ooh, I didn't think I was going to make that. I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh, it's not my birthday anymore, so now you get to laugh at me. Alright, fine. Suppose that's fair. It stands to reason. It should have kept the emerald, so I should be okay. Not that it matters, because again, missed the jungle zone one like a dimwit. Oh, piss out my mouth! What am I doing? That was devastating, right? My heart snapped in two. I'm going to abuse the heck out of save states in a minute. Oh. Bomb. Bomb gone. So it's no longer my birthday, and now I'm not the birthday boy, I'm just old. Let's move this over here so I can more easily reach the button. So I can abuse the heck out of this. Fuck a duck. Fuck you. Fuck you. Gosh! Oh, I gotta continue, fantastic. I'm actually a little mad at myself for missing that Jungle Zone Emerald now, because that would have been all of them. Ah, well. Skybase Act 3. Save state, because it's final boss time, and this is a tricky fight. 1, 2, 3, 4. How was I meant to know it was going to end up there? Am I psychic? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. does that laser do? I've forgotten. 5, 6. Hujubara! 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fuck your mother! Yeah, I feel much the same way, Sonic, honestly. Now, if you get the good ending, with all 6 Chaos Emeralds, all the smoke and smog and toxic pollution is it vanishes, it's done away with, which is lovely, of course. What more could Sonic want out of life? But yeah, that's the end of the game, unbelievably. Just under an hour to get there. Yuzo Koshiro did the music for this game, wish he did more Sonic stuff. Yeah, Yuzo rules. I wish he did more music generally. Victory drink. Funky little sequence here. Why do I hear Dave Ballmer and Chris McFeely signing off? Our intro was done by Sonic the Comic the Band, who camped all of the Sonic the Comic social media pages. I'll say it because they won't. Whatever, they beat STCO to it, fair folks to them. They should do songs about the comic though. Come on. There he is, the lad. What a guy. Quite enjoy Sonic 1 for Game Gear, Sonic 2 no comment needed. I'll be playing the Master System version of that. All the screen real estate I can get to get past that first boss, please and thank you. Boo-doo-boo-doo. Wish I had the Game Gear growing up. I was more of a Nintendo kid till the Dreamcast. I had... Oh, that's the end of the game. And there we go. Let's switch over to the camera just a little briefly before we move on to the next section. I had a Game Gear, obviously. You know, as I've said, that was my first console, first game. I had... Oh, what's my hair doing? That's horrendous. Ugh. Need a haircut. I had a Mega Drive. And then I didn't get another games console till the GameCube. I was happy with the Mega Drive though. But no, I can't sit there on camera looking like, look at disgrace tonight. What's wrong with me? But yeah, I was happy enough with the Mega Drive. But then the GameCube came along. I was like, I need this in my life. Oh, and tell me, I got a Game Boy Color when that came out in 1997. So, very happy with Mega Drive, Game Boy Color. That was me sorted. And then the GameCube came along, and I was like, oh my god, look at this. This is the comfiest controller I've ever held in my hands. But that's another tale for another time. Sonic the Comic the Band could at least cover Bad Religion Super Sonic. That would be a good enough in spirit. Fair. Sonic 2 on Master System. Could you ever control the hang glider? I must be stupid because I can never do it. I think the very rare occasions that I got past the first boss and got to the second zone, I would usually die on the hang glider. But hey, here we are in 2022 and we've got save states. We're going to bash our heads against it until we get it right. So, just going to switch up the old, whatchamacallit doodad. Change it to a just chatting stream. Where are we now? Save. There we go. We are now officially just chatting because, ladies and gentlemen, as with last night, it's time once again for a bedtime story. It's gone midnight, as Darby pointed out. Don't know what time it is in America, but it must be getting late. And tonight we're gonna have a look at one of the old Sonic novels here. This is the first of 4 books credited to Martin Adams. Now, Martin Adams is not a real person; it's a pseudonym, and it's a very cleverly chosen pseudonym because they picked the name Adams, as in begins with the letter A, so it'd be prominently featured in the A section in bookstores. So one of the first things you see would be the Sonic books. Very clever. So good for that. So it's actually, I've got the names here on my laptop. James Wallace, Carl Sargent, and Mark Gascoigne. Mark Gascoigne was the editor who edited the books for consistency. Wallace wrote the second and third book, and Sargent wrote the first and fourth. So this one was written by Carl Sargent and edited by Mark Gascoigne. So Gascoigne added, he edited them for tonal consistency between the 2 authors and to add some more jokes in, because we like jokes and they're very silly. Silly, daft books. Oh, and let's get this back on camera here. As we showed last night, there's a little picture of Sonic in the top corner. And when you flip the book, he does a little animation. Beautiful. And there's an advert for Cool Spot inside the back cover. Presumably because Cool Spot was published by Virgin Games and the books were published by Virgin Books. So there we go. So we're going to read a few chapters of this. And this is your bedtime story, because I want you guys to have a good little sleepy and dream of Sonic. Not going to read the whole thing, of course. Like I say, it is a whole full-length novel. We'll see where we go. And it starts with a little prologue called The Sonic Story So Far. There was a time when Mobius was a peaceful world, and the Green Hill Zone was the most peaceful and pleasant and generally all-round cool place to hang out on the entire planet. Mobius's inhabitants were and are talking animals of all types. The hippest, street-wisest dude of all was, and is, a hedgehog named Sonic. And of course, it just had to be Sonic, who stumbled into the laboratory of Mobius's only human, the kindly but absent-minded Dr. Kinterbor. Dr. K was perfecting a device, the Retro-Orbital Chaos Compressor, to attract all the evil on Mobius and contain it within 6 emeralds he called the Chaos Emeralds. Neat name, Doc. He found the time to help boost Sonic's speed. His already radically fast footwork, with the help of a special pair of drop-dead cool red trainers, Sonic exceeded the speed of sound. And he turned blue, of course. Sonic super-speeded all over Mobius, searching for the Grey Emerald that would neutralize the evil contained in the Chaos Emeralds. But before he found it, Dr. Kinterbor's absent-mindedness brought disaster to the whole planet as he entered faulty data into the ROCC. The device exploded, releasing the emeralds, scattering protective golden rings across the length and breadth of Mobius, and transmogrifying Kinterbor into his exact opposite, the evil, power-crazed, obese, and egg-loving Dr. Robotnik. Robotnik's influence reached across the entire planet. Once verdant landscapes were transformed into polluted wastelands. The evil Doctor's robots scoured the land for animals to imprison, and in particular, for the one super-fast hedgehog who has the power to foil his plans. Sonic. And Sonic has foiled Robotnik's plans, at least twice by the time you read this book, as documented on tonight and last night's stream. But Robotnik is inexhaustibly, exasperatingly resilient. Once again, he's back. And that means trouble for Mobius in general, and for hedgehogs with red trainers in particular. Chapter 1. Where's that pig? Home sweet home, sighed a tired hedgehog as he dumped his carryall on the ground. We had one neat holiday, but dude, I'm pooped. It was brill. That Turbotronic barrel ride train was the grooviest thing I've been on in a long time, replied a still excited Tails. Sonic could see his foxy friend's twin tails begin to twirl and frowned at him. Sonic wasn't too happy because his glorious blue spines were looking just a little bit droopy from tiredness, and that was a bummer. How could a hedgehog look drop-dead cool with droopy spines? He needed some nachos and cola to put some pizzazz back into them, and he needed them fast. Yeah, well, don't tell me. I was there. Save it for Sally and Porker and the others. But they got our postcards, Sonic said. Let's delay the unpacking and get some serious relaxation in. Like, let's slap in a video and stuff our faces, little dude. Sonic needed a lot of food. Ever since Dr. Ovi Kinterbor had helped him become Planet Mobius's first truly supersonic hedgehog, Sonic needed to eat a lot to keep his whizzing metabolism going. If Sonic wasn't thinking about how cool his spines looked, and whether his red superfast trainers were really clean, he was thinking about his stomach. So, barely waiting for their luggage to hit the floor, the two sped off in search of some food. 3 hours later, a very satisfied pair of friends looked out over the wreckage of crisp and tortilla chip packets and half-dozen empty cola bottles. Sonic's feet were starting to twitch now. He wanted to do something. Okay, now that we've satisfied our truly awesome hunger with that little snackette, I vote we go find our friends and party on with some holiday stories. Besides, I want to see if Porker got that exploding luminous custard bomb we sent him. Why don't we wait till it's dark and see if we can see him glowing? Tails sniggered. Sonic laughed. Nah, I can't wait. Let's go over now and... Hey, I've got an idea. If you'd been there, you might well have spotted the telltale signs that a totally bodacious trick was about to be sprung. 2 furry tail tips were sticking out from under the sheet Tails had over his body, while Sonic looked out from around a tree next to Porker Lewis's bright green front door, camera poised for a totally awesome photo opportunity. Tails was going to be the Green Hill Zone's first ghostly custard gram. He'd practiced his spooky "ooh" wailing noises until Sonic couldn't stand it anymore, and he had one seriously large custard pie in his quivering right hand ready to throw, which he wasn't doing. And as you might imagine, Tails was getting impatient. He knocked again, more loudly this time. "Delivery for Mr. Lewis, come and get it!" Tails readied himself for launching once more, but there was no reply. Bang, 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 come on, Porker, we know you're in there. Still no reply came from inside. Maybe he's over at Sally's, the disappointed fox called to Sonic. We can try a second delivery. Sonic was getting really twitchy now, and he nearly hit Supersonic racing over to Sally Acorn's place. Close behind him, Tails almost fell over his feet, what with a billowing sheet round his legs and not being able to see too well through the somewhat hastily positioned eye holes he'd cut out of it, but he got there just as Sonic banged on the door. Yoo-hoo! Special delivery, dudes! Truly excellent dispatch from Mr. Porker Lewis. And still no reply. Tails pulled the sheet off his head. Hey Sonic, this is getting boring. Where are the guys? Sonic was tapping his foot now, a sure sign he was getting seriously bad vibes. Half an hour later, after a whirlwind tour of Green Hill Zone, which had left Sonic's trainers almost sizzling, Tails and Sonic were reunited outside Porker's place, only to tell each other that none of their friends were to be found. No Porker, no Sally, no Johnny Lightfoot pacing his racing outside his home, no Flicky the Bluebird snooping from the branches. Tails' custard pie was beginning to collapse. Ugh, icky, moaned the fox, as he wiped dribbling custard from his paws. Let's give this one up, Sonic, please. Big brown eyes pleaded with his friend to let him drop the pie. This wasn't any fun anymore. Well, Sonic was thinking, that wasn't something he cared for, being a hedgehog of action. But since they were back outside Porker's door and the pie was for him, it seemed a bodacious idea to rig up a little trap with the pie over the door just in case their piggy friend came back soon. Sonic opened the door. Inside, the place was a mess. That wouldn't have worried him with any other of his friends. They were almost as messy as he was. But Porker was a real clean guy. He was always the one who tidied up the crisp packets and burger trays from Sonic's house when he came over to play cards with him. You may like living in a pigsty, Sonic, he'd joke, but I certainly don't. Porker's place had never looked like this. Even Porker's playing cards, and he was very fussy about them because he hated losing a card from a pack, were strewn all over the place. Tails surveyed the wreckage. Well, at least you got our postcard, he said sadly as he turned it over with his foot. It was a very nice view of the ice-capped purple mountains of Spring Yard Zone. Sonic and Tails hadn't entirely ruined it with their scrawled cross and the penciled message, "We was 'ere," on the front. The fox turned to his friend with a really worried face. "Sonic, do you think the pork has been pig-napped?" "I don't know, little dude, but this looks totally heinous to me. Let's check out somewhere else." First stop had to be the Nachos bar. That's where their friends would often meet up, and besides, Sonic was getting hungry again. "I haven't seen Porker for 3 days," said the chicken behind the counter as he passed a small mountain of soda and nachos over on a tray. Sonic ripped open the nachos pack and started to shovel them down his throat. For now, he could let Tails do the talking. "What about Sally? Or Johnny? Hey, what about Chirps? Jeepers, he's your cousin, isn't he?" The chicken looked thoughtful. "Funny enough, I haven't seen any of them for 3 days. Except for Tux. He was here yesterday. He had a half-pound haddock bendy burger with triple fries and a chocolate double soda supreme." Sonic's eyes lit up. That was partly because he'd learned that at least one of their friends was still around. It was mostly because he was licking his lips. "Brill! Well, buddy, let's go find us one wicked penguin." "Penguin?" cried Tails. "In a minute, Tails. I think I can handle one of those chocolate sodas first." Along the way to Tux's, Sonic and Tails found out that Sally Acorn's place was every bit as messed up as Porker's. That really worried them, because Sally was even tidier than Porker most of the time, but it wasn't as worrying as what happened to them at the shoreline by Tux's house. Tux's door was wide open, and there were signs of a struggle throughout the room. The most alarming sign was that the fridge was open and there weren't any fish inside. Whoever had taken Tux away had taken his fish as well. When the bad guys even descend to fish napping, things are serious. "Hey Sonic," Tails gasped. "Someone spelt out the word help in fridge magnet letters on the door. I wonder what that means." "Sonic?" Sonic was sniffing the air. His spines were beginning to bristle with a familiar tingling sensation. "You smell something, little dude." Tails sneezed. Like fish? No, stupid, concentrate." Tails sniffed frantically. "Oh, yuck, awful, it smells like..." "Yeah, totally gross. It smells like rotten eggs. Now we both know what that means. Hey, give me the camera quick." Tails had forgotten he'd been carrying around the super binocular infrascanning video camera all this while. Thanks to the incredible technology on Mobius, it was only the size of a very small burger box. This advance was perhaps less successful than the makers had hoped. For every time he got hungry, Sonic tended to grab it and try to get a cheeseburger out of it. Tails took it from around his neck and passed it to the impatient hedgehog, who squinted one eye shut and looked through the rangefinder. "Oh no, heinous to the max. It's an Eggo-matic, one of Robotnik's flying ships, and..." "Huh?" Sonic was confused. The speck flying off in the distance just disappeared. Well, it didn't really disappear. What had actually happened was that the robot flying the ship engaged Dr. Robotnik's new experimental Chaos Shift warp compressor drive, and the ship entered one of the warps of confusions high above the planet. However, apart from Robotnik, only an out-and-out genius could have known this, and though he's no dummy, Sonic isn't an out-and-out genius either. Sonic pondered. I guess Robotnik must have invented a new Chaos Shift warp compressor drive, and that ship's just vanished into a warp of confusion. What a bummer. Look, it was just a lucky guess, okay? Let's see how the next chapter is. Okay. Chapter 2. Greetings, your royal dudeship. Tails and Sonic were having a think. They didn't much care for this, but drastic measures were called for. They knew that Robotnik had been kidnapping their friends, and they wanted to do something about it. Thinking made their brains hurt. So when the ship was flying, it looked as if it was headed off to Labyrinth Zone. At least until it just vanished like that, Tails was thinking aloud. He'd seen it done in the movies, but it was harder than it looked. Slowly, though, an idea wiggled through the fog. There's only one thing for it. We've got to go to Labyrinth Zone and see if we can find anything out before we try raiding Robotnik's laboratory. We don't even know for sure that he has our friends there anyway, and why has he captured them? I thought he was always after you, because you know some of his scientific secrets. Tails had to do most of the thinking for the two of them. Even though his tails were twitching to go, he knew they needed a plan, preferably a really clever plan. "I've got a plan," Sonic announced, getting to his feet and searching for packs of crisps, peanuts and tortilla chips. Tails brightened up. "All right, what's the plan then?" Sonic finished stuffing the packets into a bag which he draped around his friend's neck. "Well, we rush over to Labyrinth Zone and search everywhere to learn everything we can." He gave his red power sneakers a final polish. "That's it?" "That's it. Clever or what?" Tails didn't have time to say what before Sonic was racing out across the grass of Green Hill Zone, building up speed until whoosh, the hedgehog curled into a ball and whizzed up and over the hill in the distance. Tails stared at him with admiration, but not for long. With his white-tipped foxtails twirling and whirring, Tails broke into his famous super dash and streaked off in a puff of dust. Now Sonic is seriously quick when it comes to running, but when he needs to come to a halt, he can do that every bit as fast. Well, if you ignore the overshooting problem. More seriously, when he screeches to a halt in the middle of Labyrinth Zone, he gets dirt on his sneakers, because there's a lot of slimy stuff from all the gungy plants and weeds in the place. Oh, gross to the max, the hedgehog lamented. And right in front of me there's a... But it was what was right behind that counted. Tails went slamming into the back of his friend because he was so busy trying to catch up with his buddy that he just wasn't watching where he was going. Sonic went flying into a labyrinthine thistle bush, and dudes, they are spiky. All Tails could see when he picked himself up was a pair of red sneakers and hedgehog feet sticking out of the bush some yards ahead. Crikey, he thought, that wasn't very clever of me, was it? That wasn't very clever of you, was it? Came a sarcastic voice from his left. Tails whirled around to see a many-legged creature of a type he'd not seen before sitting on a rock not far from the shore of the lake. It had a shell on the lower half of its body and funny eyes on stalks. Tails didn't know what it was, but Tails is a well-brought-up sort of a fox, and so he reasoned it would be neat to be polite to it. No, he said, forgetting entirely about his hedgehog buddy, getting out of the bush and looking very cross. What are you? What? You're very rude. You mean, who are you? He's a prawn, said Sonic, who by now had picked Tails up by his ears and was threatening to use him to polish his sneakers. Hello, Mr. Prawn. I am not. I am a king prawn. My name is Peter, so you can call me King Peter. And speak with the right tone of grovelling to royalty, you clumsy pair of dweebs. Sonic released Tails and advanced on the prawn. Hey, like, royal dude, I thought you lived in the water, not on rocks. Usually I do, but today I'm doing a royal walkabout. The prawn waved several of his hands around rather aimlessly, as all royals do. And if I hadn't been here, I wouldn't have seen that Buzz Downick over there. Tails spun round to see what the prawn was waving at. In the distance, on top of a solid block of stone carved with gargoyles' faces, was a machine which he recognised as a computer. Above it hovered a large metallic wasp-like robot. Tails knew what it was. It was a buzzer, one of Robotnik's evil robot creations. But King Peter hadn't called it that. A Buzz Downick? It's a buzzer! No, it isn't, King Peter spoke, with the weary sigh of a royal person confronted with a very dumb subject. It was plainly a sigh that he'd done before. It's a buzzer which does something extra. Of course it will attack you with its metal stinger if you go near it. It'll try to rip your head off as well. Well, at least your spikes and your tails, mateys. But it was here 3 days ago with a fat man and a funny-looking robot with a hump on its back, which the fat man called Egor, and Fatso told Egor that the computer there would be worked by the Buzz Downick. I think he said it downloads information from the computer. The prawn sounded very pleased with himself for remembering this. See, buzzer, that's buzz. Downloading, that's down. Not sure about the ick bit, though. Nick. Sonic was busy staring intensely at the hovering robot. No, it wasn't called Nick. As I said, no, Nick, Robotnik, or Fatso, as your bodacious majesty referred to him. Calls lots of his creations Nicks of one sort or another. Just a little personal thing he does. Sonic's foot was tapping impatiently on the ground. He wanted to deal with the Buzz Downick now. Hey, like, mega royal personage, why don't you have a crown on your head if you're a king? Tails was getting more and more curious as Sonic was getting more and more impatient. Because it's too darned heavy, of course. And because someone would steal it. And because I like to be a royal with the common touch. The prawn looked altogether too pleased with himself. 3 answers for the price of 1, he thought happily. Yeah, well, thank you for that radically cool helpfulness, your royal shellfishness, but it's time to go. Sonic nodded his head in something that was very like a bow. Tails, dash time. Sonic accelerated into his super spin, while Tails struggled to keep up with him. Bouncing off 2 trees, a couple of rocks, and judging the angles just right, the supersonic hedgehog crashed into the hovering Buzz Downick. It fell apart in a huge outburst of wires, metal, chunks, bolts and nuts, which went spinning everywhere. Tails was hit on the head by a couple of heavy bolts, which sent him crashing into the computer as he followed his friend. When a super dashing fox hits one of Robotnik's computer terminals full pelt, there's only one outcome, or at least there's only one outcome that we're going to tell you about now. The terminal began to hum. The sort of hum that gets louder and higher, like a small child gearing up for a major howl in the slow lane at the supermarket. Buttons popped off the keyboard like someone stripping corn on the cob, and multicoloured lights began to flash on its control panels and scream. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk noises came out of its smoking speaker grill. Then it exploded. What fell out of it caught Sonic and Tails by surprise. The terminal was full of springs, long, coiled, slinky steel springs which expanded in size as they shot out of the casing. They wrapped themselves around Sonic and Tails, pinning their arms and legs together and making a terrible mess of Sonic's spines, which really annoyed him. Both of our heroes were now all tied up. Well, actually, they were all sprung up, but that doesn't sound quite the same, does it? And in the distance and getting closer, they could hear the sound of a buzzer getting closer. The only bits of them that weren't all tied up were Tails' twin twitching appendages. Whirling them furiously, the fox rose into the air and concentrated with all his might. Gritting his teeth and straining all his muscles, he tried to get free. But the springs just coiled tighter and tighter. With all his might, he couldn't free himself. Crumbs, he thought miserably to himself. Looks like it's game over. With a deep, sad sigh, Tails relaxed and waited for the inevitable. Then all the springs fell off. Of course. They were fiendishly designed to tighten when someone caught in them struggled. As soon as they stopped struggling, the springs just flew off in all directions. Which left Tails looking at the metal eyes of the second buzzer hovering right in front of him. Yikes! Tails kicked out with a simple reflex. It was just instinct, but it worked. The buzzer whined a bit, turned over on its back and crashed to the ground where it broke apart. After a few pathetic bzzz noises, it stopped twitching. By that time, Tails had freed Sonic from the springs coiled tightly around him. "Oh, gross out," Sonic lamented. "Where's my brush?" He quickly found it and began to restore his spikes to their former glory. Meanwhile, Tails was peering into the remains of the computer terminal. A twitching hedgehog nose was soon looking over his shoulder. "Hey look, there's one left!" Tails hauled out the funny-looking spring lying inside. Freaky. The spring was more solid than the others. It had some curious chunks of metal, shiny and very smooth, strung along it. Sonic handled it thoughtfully while eyeing the skies for any more buzzers on the horizon. A distinctly prawn-like voice boomed over his shoulder. "Apparently those are microchips," announced King Peter. At least that's what Fatso said to Egor. "You seem to know a lot about this," Sonic said suspiciously. The king was about to reply when a small grey-shelled prawn rushed up alongside, curtsied and whispered in his ear. "I'm sorry, grovelling loyal subject types, but I have to go home now. My daughter has a chronic eating difficulty. Can't keep her food down." Sonic grinned and flourished a packet from Tails' bag. "Give her some nachos, you Madge. They're most indubitably and royally bodacious. 6 times a day, before, after and during meals and snacks. Awesome." With a regal wave of gratitude, the prawns scuttled off, leaving our heroes with a weird-looking spring and one last snack to keep them going. "Microchips? Hey, food! Are they like fries?" Tails was excited. You could tell because his tails whizzed around. "No, not that kind of chip, silly." Sonic was furiously trying to remember some of what he'd learned about computers in Robotnik's laboratory way back when that evil genius was still the kindly Dr. Ovi Kinterbor, and Sonic was learning to become Mobius's first supersonic heroic hedgehog. "But I thought microchips were chips you put in the microwave for a snack, and a fairly bodacious mistake as mistakes go. But no. A microchip, little dude, is a small chunk of something called silicon, which computers can store information on. Now I wonder what's on these." Sonic was unusually thoughtful. Brain work called for more food, and they were down to their last 50 packs of peanuts. This was getting serious. "We sure can't use this terminal to find out. We're going to have to find someone who can help us. Let's go." "Jeepers, Sonic, can't we slow down just a bit?" Tails was getting just a little out of puff. He and Sonic had been in and out of the endless caves and caverns of the Labyrinth Zone, having to keep swimming, moving, dodging the spiked ball traps which Robotnik had put there to trap them, and generally having a very annoying time of it. Sonic was screwing up his eyes in determination. "We've got to find someone who can help us with this thing." He waved the microchip-loaded spring in Tails' face. "I'm sure that this holds the secret of what Robotnik is up to. But won't it be like it was before, when Robotnik imprisoned Sally and the others in prison eggs, and you had to free them across the zones of Mobius? No, Robotnik's an evil genius. This time it's going to be different. You know, like Robotnik 2, this time it's personal. This time he's done something else with them." "And I don't know." Sonic's thoughts were interrupted by a wailing sound coming from somewhere far below them. It sounded like something singing. On the other hand, it could have been the sound of someone in serious pain. down, dude. We might find someone who can help us. We might find something which needs help. Let's go and find out. Heading down through the underground caverns of the endless labyrinth, Sonic and Tails ducked in and out of the lethal spear traps of the cave. Time after time, they had to drag themselves out of underwater passages, gasping for breath. Floors opened up, revealing gaping holes, and massive columns pounded around them from the ceiling as they passed. It was all very boring. Soon they were really deep, deep down below the surface of Mobius. "Hey Sonic, it's blinking dark down here," Tails sniffed disapprovingly. "Dark, cold, dank and dismal. It smells like something really big ate a whole pile of nachos and then..." "Yeah, well, at least we're closer to that noise," Sonic cut in hastily. Sometimes Tails just didn't seem to be made of truly heroic stuff like he himself was. Sonic was right, the voice was very loud now. He and Tails could hear the wailing of some kind of electronic keyboard as well. In the echoing caverns it sounded awful. Ducking in and out of the deepest roots of some really huge trees, trying to keep the dirt off his sneakers, Sonic edged forwards with Tails right behind. They soon found the cause of the noise. It was a mole. Well, okay, it was like a mole, but it wasn't any ordinary mole. He wore heavy shades and a radically sharp suit, and he was sitting on a small stool with a funny little electric organ on his lap. Oblivious to their presence, he continued plunking away with his paws on the keyboard and wailing, "I just called to say I love you." It was gross to the max. Showing real presence of mind, Sonic raced over and stuffed a handful of peanuts into the mole's mouth. "Just thought you might be hungry for making all that fine music, dude," he said as the spluttering mole almost fell off his stool. "Greetings, I'm Sonic, the world-famous hedgehog. You've probably heard of me. Can you help us with this?" He dangled the wobbling spring over the mole's startled body. The mole spluttered as he coughed bits of peanut all over the ground. "Hello, I'm Stevie the mole." The latter part was strictly unnecessary. One would have to be blind not to see that. "Well, we, really dig your music, but we need some help, most excellent mole-type dude. My furry twin-tailed friend and I are looking for some chums who've disappeared, and we think that might be the reason why, and what's been happening to them might be encoded on this." Sonic continued to dangle the spring before the mole. These friends of yours, they're not worms, are they, by any chance?" said the mole, looking rather guilty. "No. There's Sally Acorn, she's a really neat squirrel, and Johnny Lightfoot, our rabbit buddy, and..." "Oh, phew, that's a relief," sighed the mole. "I mean, you're kind of hefty-looking guys, and I wouldn't have wanted to give you any reason to be cross with me." "Well, of course we're really hunky," said Tails, puffing out his chest. "I mean, I don't work out with weights every day for nothing, you know." Sonic looked at his friend with a sarcastic expression. "Tails, if you tell wicked lies, you might end up facing a Schwarzenegger-bot, and then you'll be sorry." Tails looked suitably abashed. Meanwhile, the mole was sniffing at the spring. "It smells kind of greasy. Microchips? You got it, cool dude. Know anything about them?" "Well, just let me plug them into my wideband, interfacing, minimaxing, polyphonic, outreaching, unisynthesizing topographizer," said the mole, clutching at the spring. "Nothing like a good wimp out for sorting out what's going down." "Far out," muttered Tails. He wasn't convinced that the mole knew what he was doing, but with a few powerful swipes of Stevie's claws, the spring was soon coiled around the small box on the side of the organ. The mole flipped a few switches, adjusted a couple dials, and began to hum. "Gimme an A." "Eh? That'll do. Cowabunga, hero-type dudes, I feel a song coming on." Half an hour later, a grim-faced hedgehog and a thoroughly frazzled fox staggered to the surface, holding their ears, and crumpled in a heap beneath the shade of a tree. It was better to face the buzzing of a swarm of flying robots than what they just had to endure. "What a total gimboid! My ears hurt, my brain hurts!" Tails rolled himself up in a ball and snuffled in his bag for some peanuts. He wasn't hungry, but he hoped that eating might make him feel better. Anyway, Sonic, what was that computer doing here in the middle of nowhere? He didn't feel that he understood what was happening. "They're everywhere. We even saw one on holiday, remember? It was disguised as a vending machine." Tails nodded urgently. He recalled it now. He tried to get a bar of peanut chocolate out of it and got an electric shock that made his tail stand on end. Robotnik's searching for the Grey Emerald. It's the one thing which could destroy the power of the Chaos Emeralds he has orbiting Mobius. They're his source of power, and without them he wouldn't be able to do heinous stuff like kidnapping our friends. So he has these computers around so that anyone who might know anything about where the Grey Emerald is can type the information in. So how come I just got electrocuted when I touched one? Sonic paused for thought. Not for too long, though. "I don't know. Perhaps it's because Robotnik knows we're his enemies, and he's programmed the computers to do nasty things to us if we touch them. That is why we should approach them with the intention of a real cool wipeout action, huh? Tails grinned. Dig it? Now, what was that mole singing to us about? Chapter 3. It's only a brain scanning machine, it won't hurt. So, where are Sonic's friends? Well, they're imprisoned in the laboratory of evil madman stroke genius Dr. Ivo Robotnik. But this isn't Robotnik's old laboratory with its huge array of robots and weird machines. No, this one is a brand new, just built egg extension. Yet Robotnik himself thought that one up. There are lots of machines here, but they're not the usual ones Robotnik uses. No, there's just one robot who really matters here, and he's called Egor. Egor's unusual. He has something of a personality. He thinks, yes, he thinks, of himself as Dr. Robotnik's faithful assistant. He conducts what the Doctor insists upon calling his experiments on the laboratory animals, as Robotnik refers to Sally, Porker, and all the others who are kept here in mean little cages with thick iron bars. Now sometimes Egor talks to these animals. Sometimes Robotnik and Egor discuss the plans for the experiments, and someone overhears them. Porker Lewis, who's probably the smartest, is beginning to get some seriously bad vibes about this setup. It was a remark from Chirp's chicken in the next cage, however, which most alarmed him. "Hey Porker, I'm one lucky dude," Chirps had happily announced a couple of days after they'd been dragged from their homes by a squad of grabbers, Robotnik's 8-legged specialist kidnap bots. "No way," Porker replied. The food was okay here, but Porker was irritated by the way he had to keep pressing a silly little lever to get it. Well, maybe it wasn't too different to phoning for some pizza, and it did arrive a lot faster, but it still irked him. "I'm going on a space flight," the chicken said delightedly. "How'd you figure that out, dweeb brain?" Porker was cross this morning. The pizza which had come out of the slot in his cage when he pressed the lever was cold, and it didn't have enough cheese on it. It also had black olives, and Porker thought black olives were horrible. "I heard Dr. Robotnik telling Egor he's sending me to the planet Kentucky. I think I want to get some new clothes too. Robotnik said coating, but I guess he meant coat. Sounds way radically cool. I can't wait to go." Porker didn't have the heart to tell his friend what all this might really mean. Sonic was foot-tapping again. This was because Tails was being just a little slow to understand what his supersonic friend was telling him about Stevie's decoding the microchips. "So there was a list of all our friends in that computer?" Sonic just tapped his foot in reply. Tails' smarts were not quite in gear right now. "And there were instructions for the robots to bring them to a new laboratory?" "Right on." Sonic examined a bit of fluff he'd picked off his glove, as though he thought it was endless fascination to him, then yawned. "And we don't know where that is." "Too right, my usually triumphantly brilliant, but currently rather slow on the uptake buddy. So we'll have to find where this new laboratory is." Say what you like, but Tails was piecing together the facts bit by bit. "Yep." Tails was off doing that thinking thing again. It was a habit Sonic really didn't approve of too much. He knew that they should be doing things like smashing up Buzz Downix and computer terminals and bodaciously striking out against Robotnik. He could also see that Tails didn't have any idea what to do. "Okay, Sonic, here's what we should do," said Tails. Well, maybe he did. "First, we could find other robots and try to capture one. If the computers don't have the information about where the new laboratory is, the robots must have, otherwise they wouldn't know where to take our friends when they capture them. Isn't that terrifically logical? Second, we could find more computers, hoping that one of them does have the information about the new laboratory after all. Third, we can investigate other zones to see if any other helpful folks like Stevie or Peter know about the laboratory or where else the robots have been going. Fourth, we could dress up as two of our friends and try to fool some robots into trying to kidnap us, bring them to us instead of having to tire ourselves out chasing after them. Fifth, well, alright, dude, Sonic was ever so slightly wrong here. Tails did have some ideas, and good ones they were too. But Sonic did know how to plan things right. The first thing to do was head back to Green Hill Zone and stock up on supplies. For a start, he needed about 10 square meters of pizza and a tanker full of chocolate soda. You can't go into Super Spins on an empty stomach, dudes. "Look, this isn't going to hurt," Egor said laconically. Laconically was one of the Hunchback Robot's favourite words. What it meant in his case was that he sounded like the most miserable old schoolmaster you've ever known when he was in a really bad mood. "What is it?" Porker retreated to the back of his cage, well away from Egor's lunging metal arms. It's just a brain scanning machine. Dr. Robotnik says you should have a bigger brain than any of your friends here, so it should be easiest to find. It won't hurt, honestly. I'll just tell the doctor what's happening inside your brain. But I don't want him to know what's happening in my brain. It's my brain. Go away or I'll bite you. Porker was genuinely scared now. That would be very stupid. Egor sounded exactly like a schoolmaster now. I'm made of metal, and you'd break your teeth, and then you wouldn't be able to eat the lovely pizza we give you. Yes, I would. You don't need teeth to eat slurpy, soft pizza. Don't be difficult. You wouldn't be able to eat the crispy pizzas, only the deep pan. And we've run out of deep pan pizza for the time being. Anyway, if you broke all your teeth, it would hurt, you silly pig. Egor sounded almost like he would find this end result amusing, albeit in a laconic sort of way. I don't care, I'll do it anyway. If my teeth hurt, then evil Dr. Robotnik won't be able to find out what's happening inside my brain, will he? Porker saw his chance and changed tack. I mean, why is he doing all this anyway? That's a scientific secret. Look, Porker, if you won't come out, then we'll have to use the hypnotizing ray on you. Egor sounded extremely laconic and somewhat annoyed. He hadn't expected Porker to be such a hassle. Clunking his way across the laboratory, Egor wheeled out the dreaded machine. It looked like... well, it's not so easy to describe just like that. It looked like one of those big guns you might have seen in video posters. You know, the ones being carried by big guys with muscles, where most people don't even have places for the muscles to be in. Big guys with brains the size of peas. Don't push me and I'll be back sort of guys, you know the kind. But it wasn't really a gun, of course. It had lots of spiky bits along the length of the tube and dials and flashing lights all over it. Egor wheeled it slowly across the room and pointed it into Porker's cage. A green ray shot out of the tube, and the machine made a very low woo 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 noise. Porker couldn't help but stare at the light, and as he did, Robotnik's voice came from a tape inside the machine. You are feeling sleepy. Your eyelids are heavy, and you are tired, very tired. You are going to sleep. All the animals in the laboratory were asleep when Dr. Robotnik arrived, very late that night. The evil genius was licking the last of his supper off his hands. It had been his favourite food, raw eggs with a dash of Tabasco pepper sauce. Sticky strands of egg white dribbled from his fingers onto his white laboratory coat and congealed into slimy little pools. It was gross. Robotnik licked the last of the egg yolk off his lips with a disgusting slurping noise. Egor clanked to attention as the white-coated madman strode in. Master, Master, I have the information you wanted, look. The robot pointed to a huge video screen which had a glowing picture of a brain on it. Porker Lewis's brain, to be exact. Most of the brain showed up blue, but there were some yellow areas and one or two small red hot spots. That's where Porker's brain was most active. Right now, the eating centres of his brain were showing strongly red. Seeing this, Egor absent-mindedly pushed the pizza delivery button. No, wait! Robotnik furiously hammered the cancel button on the control panels. He has to press the lever in his cage before he gets the pizza. That's the principle of behavioural conditioning, Egor. Bad robot. Egor hung his head sadly. He didn't like being called bad robot. But he's asleep, Master. That's a technical point. It doesn't concern me right now. Do we have enough information from his brain to put him into Far Out yet? No, Master, and he is only the first. I have all the others to experiment on yet. We can deal with them later. It is imperative that we have a first experimental subject for Far Out. When we've scanned all their brains and put them into the Far Out machine, then we'll know how to deal with our ultimate enemy, Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, at this point we ought to come clean. We lied about all the animals being asleep. Only a little bit though, because there was only one that was awake. As everyone knows, Sally Acorn is one cool, smart squirrel. She learned to press levers to get acorns to eat long before any of the other animals had figured out what was inside their cages. Better still, she'd learned to stay awake at night to overhear what Robotnik told Egor to do. Mostly, she didn't tell the other animals what she heard. She didn't want to frighten them. And she hadn't heard anything really worrying anyway. But tonight, feigning sleep as always, she heard Robotnik yell at Egor what Far Out stands for, and she squeaked with worry about that. So we won't tell you what she heard. We don't want to worry you after all. Besides, whatever Robotnik is planning, there are still two bodaciously free, radical hero-style dudes who are going to do their best to stop him. And that takes us up to Chapter 4. That's going to be where we bow out for the evening. That's your little bedtime story for tonight there, guys. Hope you've enjoyed that look back at the very first Sonic novel from 93, I think? Yeah, 1993, gosh. Those were the days. So yeah, that's the end of Sonic Month Day number 2 of 31. Another game down, another book down. Tomorrow we're going to be playing Sonic Eraser, which is slightly more obscure as Sonic games go. That's not going to be too long of a playthrough, so the main attraction is going to be leaning in. We're going to try and play through Metal City Mayhem. This is a choose-your-own-adventure book, and I'm going to be seeing if I can get a little assistance in getting through to the end of this one. Will Sonic win? Will Sonic be crushed by robots? Who knows? The safety of our beloved Hedgehog may be in your hands. Who knows? Who's to say? We'll see. But yes, it's been lovely fun once again, guys, and just chilling out, having a good old time, playing some Sonic, reading some Sonic, and reliving a very special anniversary, 30 years to the day that I picked up that first video game, and here we were tonight, playing through it once more. So it's been lovely. Thanks ever so much, guys, for joining, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow, and indeed for the rest of Sonic Month. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at LTDangerous. You can find me on YouTube at BuzzBomber, as in the Sonic Baddie. That's BuzzBomber. And yeah, you can find it. Well, I should say it's youtube.com/BuzzBomber, isn't it? Because there might be more than one people with that display name. And yeah, hope to see you again tomorrow night for another Sonic Month Day. So you guys take care. Lots of fun. You have a lovely evening. Sleep well. Pleasant dreams. Mwah. Bye.